Rise University. I am Ed Cruz. Thank you again for coming today. And today we got something different. I don't want to be so robotic as far as always doing something about teaching, something so specific. But today it's going to be fun. We're actually analyzing a specific scene in Enter the Dragon and all the Wing Chun that's actually taking place when Bruce Lee's doing that scene. So took a while. I had to go over the scene to the best of my knowledge as far as what he was doing for each individual moves. Certain scenes you can see quite clearly enough, and basically the total number of moves that he did for that scene would be, I counted that as 14. So first, why don't we take a quick look at the video right now. Alright, so hopefully you got a chance to look at the video, and I'm going to try to do a replay with it at the same time when I analyze it. But basically here are the 14 moves that we're seeing when Bruce Lee does the famous opening up the elevator and then he hears someone on the side. So first move basically is number 1, Wu Sao and then Lap Sao punch. Okay, and the reason I'm saying it's Wu Sao Lap Sao punch is because if you understand Wing Chun, all these moves that you have are really transitionary moves. So in other words, every block transitions to either basically a lop or a pak sao motion for full control. So from this motion, he turns to his side from here when he hears somebody, Wu Sao, and then he turns to lap sao and punch. Okay, the next move is from there a back fist. He's doing a back fist, and then he has a guard hand here like Gum Sao and does a back fist. Not at the same time, he's here, back fist, and then Gum's here. Now, there's no real back fist in Wing Chun. Right, this area we don't use because it's structurally weak. Am I saying you can't use it? I'm saying you can use whatever part of the body you want, but as far as structure-wise, I would not use the back fist as far as laying the most impact. If I'm going to go in this direction, you can use an outside diagonal motion in order to do the hit. But instead, he uses a back fist. For all intents and purposes, it could just look cooler, as opposed to any motion. He does a back fist and then Gum Sao guard hand motion then. Then from here, the attack comes down, he does Gan, and then a Pak, and a Gum Sao again, and then a back fist again here from this motion, right? And then from this next motion, number 4 move is he does a back fist again to the side, and then number 5 motion is here, Pak Sao and a hammer fist to the groin, okay? From this hammer fist to the groin, after this next motion, looks like it's like a Bu motion. Bu motion, then it catches to Bu motion catches to a lap sao motion. The Bu doesn't necessarily have to be for the eyes. The Bu motion is just to catch the motion of the block, and then from there he uses that to lop afterwards and does an uppercut. From this uppercut motion, another back fist from the next person coming in. And this next motion, I watched it several times over and over again. It doesn't look like he's appearing to do any kind of attack from the initial motion. It could be like an inside diagonal hook that he's doing with it, but it looks like he's just catching the motion of the hook that's coming in from this direction. He's coming from the motion in this direction, and he does 2 elbows, 2 Sao Jung elbows, 1 and then 2. Okay, that from my interpretation, that's it. You can't see in the bottom if he's doing some kind of sweep or something like that. So from what I can see from the video, it looks like the motion's coming in. He could use a hook motion like this to catch that punch that's coming in, but it looks like he's just coming in with it, grabbing maybe the motion and then going 1 elbow, 2. Okay, then the next motion that he has is basically you see him duck in this motion. That ducking motion, and then he actually ducks and does a hook motion here. Hook motions, okay, do exist in Wing Chun. It's called the inside diagonal motion. This is the motion that you see. It doesn't necessarily have to be this close in. You can have it extended further out. But the 2 motions that you see here with the duck, that's in the BG form. When you duck here like this, people think that the Wing Chun form movement is so rigid. It's not. You basically develop the skill to have pure flexibility as far as how you want to move, and from that you can go up, down, left, right, lean forward and backwards. It's up to you. It's just as long as you can control your center of gravity is the main key involved. Okay. So after this motion of the ducking, and then he does the hook, it looks like he does another back fist. You could say it looks like outside diagonal hit, but more than likely he's been using the back fist for most of his motion. And he does a back fist at this motion, like this, and a wusa guard hand, because it doesn't really touch anything from that point. So he does this motion, back fist here, and then from this motion here, another patsao and a hammer fist motion from behind. Okay? And then after this motion here, he does another back fist here. I think this is the number 12 motion here. And then someone comes in, and then does another inside diagonal hook across. Then he does his famous breathe, and then back fist again. So I think all in all, that's 14 moves that you see him do. You could say every move has some Wing Chun in it, because you see a back fist motion, right? And you're like, oh, well, there's no back fist. But, more of a JKD move right there. But this motion here, funzao motion, right? A funzao motion. Just depends on how you want to apply it. So any motion that you can pick and choose from what he does can be analyzed from that point. So it was fun to see exactly how he was doing it and how he was applying it. But all in all, a lot of things that you see, you can actually see him integrate the Wing Chun in it. And to Bruce Lee's own, he's using his interpretation, his knowledge of Wing Chun, and applying it on the screen. And you're not going to make it, in a movie situation, you try to make it as pretty as possible. You're not trying to make it scientifically correct as far as how you would apply that move. Because a lot of times you see motions where he's using one hand hit and the same hand hit again. And technically it's best to do motions like opposite hands to generate full power. But if you notice, he was very creative in creating the flow of the moves, right? So from one motion from here, and then doing a motion from here, and then from so forth, even if it is repetition of the same hand, doing the same attack twice, you're basically, when it comes to directing a movie or making a movie, you're trying to create a great flow. And he was always incredible at making things flow really well and showing the best explosive power out there. Okay, hopefully you, I'll show the video again, you can watch it again, and tell me what you think. What you think of the Wing Chun breakdown as far as what Bruce Lee did for the Enter the Dragon scene. Alright, anyway, hopefully you enjoyed with this little segment. I might do more of this in the future, along with everything else. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe. We still have Zoom classes for this month available on Kirin Rise University on Facebook. Anyone's welcome to join in. And that's it, okay? Make sure you practice, find your Gung Fu, and train hard. All right, later everyone.